Taylor.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hello. Look who had time in the busiest day of the year to give us a phone call.
Oh, yay!
How are you?
I'm so good. I'm so excited for this record. I feel very, uncomplicated joy about it, you know?
Well, I have to tell you, I sat in a room full of adults and watched them cry while listening to some of these tracks. I want to go over these with you because I loved it too.
Oh, really?
This is going to be something special when everyone gets a hold of it, and it looks like everyone is going to get a hold of it.
I'm so happy. I'm really happy to hear that. It's so nice to have feedback from this. It's been such a secret for such a long time.
Well, let's talk about that. Tell me the story. Now, on the most crazy 2-year tour, and you're going to football games, and you're baking sourdough bread, and you're writing, producing, and recording an album at the same time. Tell me the story of how that happened. It didn't drive you a little nuts.
Well, it was actually kind of the opposite of going nuts, because I think if I hadn't started the creative process of making this album while I was on tour, I think I would have been way more exhausted than I was. Because this album started to happen in the European leg of the Eras tour last summer. And it was during a time in the tour where I was so physically exhausted that my feet were sore, my legs were sore, my hips, my neck, my back, everything was in pain all the time. And I was also almost 2 years into the tour, so I was starting to get muscle memory. I was starting to be able to do the show without thinking about it. So I knew I needed to stimulate my brain and my creativity and figure out a way to be excited every day. And so I would do 3 shows, I'd fly to Sweden and record, do 3 more shows, fly back to Sweden. And it was actually that stimulation of the creative process of making this record that made me finish out that tour without ever hitting a wall, you know?
Look at all those Sweden stamps in that passport.
Right?
Jeez.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I don't even know where to start here. I'll start with the crying in the room, and I'm going to play it in a minute. The Fate of Ophelia, of course. Okay, add to the list of things you were doing. You were restudying Hamlet again, so we'll get into that. But
hey, that story never leaves you.
Well, there's just something about the way the music sonically hits the words, and it really it grabs you by the heart. It's beautiful. We're going to play that in just a second.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy you like that one. That one just as soon as we wrote it, I had a feeling it would be the one that we would go with first and the one I'd get to make a music video for, because it's just so visual and also just so infectious.
I love it. And I want to talk about your Easter eggs. So many of your fans, hear these Easter eggs or see these Easter eggs. Are they really always there? Or is there times where you go, yeah, that's not really a hint. That's not really an Easter egg?
Yeah, there are definitely some theories that are based in absolutely nothing close to reality. But you know what? There are some that are so fun when they figure them out. Like just yesterday, somebody figured out that if you line up the titles of all the tracks of this album in order, and you line them up in the center of the frame, the shape of the track list makes the same shape as the Eras Tour stage.
Okay.
Wow.
So that was a real one. That was one that it took a while for them to discover, and then finally they figured it out, and it was really fun. But then there's some where people thought that somehow sourdough bread was a part of the whole thing, when actually I bake. I love baking. It's completely aside from my music. It's just a hobby I'm obsessed with.
There's a track on this album about sourdough. I know there is. We're going to find it.
No, there's not. There's not. But yeah, it's been really funny to have people care that much, because ultimately Easter eggs are always leading towards more art. They're leading towards lyrics or art that's coming in the future. So I wouldn't be able to do that if the fans didn't care so much about the music itself, which I'm very honored by.
So we always say that your albums are really like a diary, and then you just open it up and you share your diary with the world, and you've done this 12 times, so 12 different diaries. But in doing it, are there lyrics that you can think of right now that were just incredibly difficult for you to write and then open up and share with people?
Not really. I I don't really operate that way. Like, my music is a way of, like, it's a part of catharsis. Like, there will be times where I'll write the most gut-wrenching song of torment and heartbreak, and then as soon as I'm done writing it, I'm done with that emotion. Like, it's almost in a way of just sort of like, you say the thing and then you can move on from the thing. But I just have, like, kind of learned as time has gone by to sort of deal with writing in terms of from the character or story arcs or fiction, or in this record, like, there's a song called Elizabeth Taylor, which is sort of like my emotions and my issues with fame through the lens of cosplaying the life of Elizabeth Taylor. So you kind of meld the two experiences together, because she's always someone that I've looked up to as being this very, very glamorous, very beloved, but for some reason a polarizing figure, which I've found myself in that place too. So it's been really fun, right? You know, I love writing.
Well, Elizabeth
It's
Taylor.
just fun.
Elizabeth Taylor, I've always been a massive fan, because I guess it's the old gay thing. I don't know. But I mean,
Hey.
she would just navigate through life just looking flawless at all times. But as soon as the door closed, she was throwing
And
sharp.
she was funny.
She was hilarious.
But she was funny.
And she
like,
had
and
guts.
I think she's just a fabulous role model and, like, person that I hope my fans will look her up and see how much she went through and how she was making her best art, like, even at the midst of people's outrage over something in her life. Like, she continued being at the top of her game in terms of her artistic output.
Well, good. I mean, a whole new audience needs to learn a lot more about Elizabeth Taylor. And so I was listening to the song. I was thinking this is definitely an homage to her, but it's actually an homage to yourself as well. And I love that. And also, Opalite.
Yes, joining the experiences.
Talk about Opalite. Is that the one that has the lyric? It's my favorite lyric on the album. You're dancing through the lightning strikes. That's from the song?
Yes. Yes. I'm glad you like that one. That's one of my favorite songs on the record.
But you can actually see choreography. You can see someone dancing through the lightning strikes. What a powerful line that is. Love that. And also,
it's about choosing happiness in your own life. You know, like, Opalite is a man-made opal. It's just like, how they have man-made diamonds now. Like, and so I love that sort of reference and metaphor between making your own, like, gemstone and then manufacturing your own happiness, even when things aren't going your way.
Also, if you're a size queen, Father Figure's a nice selection.
Oh, Father Figure's a great song. I love that one.
And look,
I love that one.
No one's going to ask you who that's about, but it sure is applicable to all of our lives.
Well, it's a song about power, and
Right.
it's got a really good metaphor about the way that men move through the world in a sense of power. And it's kind of like, you kind of can't tell if I'm singing from the perspective of the ingenue or of the father figure mentor character, and that's by design.
Wow.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
You mentioned earlier, you just talked about making your own happiness. And when we started this call, you said that you're feeling uncomplicated joy. What to you is complicated joy? Because that made me really think about, what does that mean?
I think I want some of that.
That's a good question. Complicated joy around a record release is when you wrote the album a year ago, when you were in a very different place emotionally than you are when you wrote it. Let's say you wrote a heartbreak album and now you're very happy. Or let's say you wrote a happy album and now you're very heartbroken. Or any kind of variation on that, when you feel that you're in a different place. And now you're putting out art that you're proud of, but you don't relate to anymore. I really relate to this record because I'm in the same exact place as I was when I wrote it.
I love that.
Wow.
We're about to play The Fate of Ophelia, the one that makes people in the room cry.
Oh, thank you.
But first, before you have one more second to talk about Life of a Showgirl. I mean, this track, I'm trying to figure out where it's from. I mean, is it so simple? It is exactly what it is. You out there on the road doing your thing. Talk to me about that.
The song "The Life of a Showgirl" is a song that I did with Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
Because it's a story about meeting one of your idols and telling them that you want to do this too. You want to follow in their footsteps. And I think a lot of people in the entertainment industry have had this happen. Your idol warns you not to do it, not to follow in their footsteps because of how hard this industry is. And it's about taking that advice and completely disregarding it and doing it anyway. And I wanted Sabrina to be the person who did the duet with me on it because I just think she's so smart and like cut out for this job, if you want to call it a job. It's really a all-encompassing life path, and I think she's like just so brilliant and tough in a way. She's very sensitive in terms of being an artist, but she can handle herself. So I just thought that she would be kind of a great person to collaborate with on that song in particular. And it's the last song on the record, so it really ends out the story of the album.
This is what you do, Elvis. If someone wants to be in radio, you tell them, run the other direction.
Run for your life, live to tell others.
Yeah.
The Life of a Showgirl. It's out today. There's so many great stories, and you were the best storyteller. Let me give you the fate of Ophelia. Congratulations, Taylor. Thanks for being on with us today.
Thank you so much. Thanks for listening to music, and I hope you guys have a great day.
All right, you too. Take care.
Picture this. Taylor Swift, 2 years into the Eras tour, body screaming, feet blistered, hips aching, every muscle a battlefield. Yet, amid the chaos, she jets to Sweden between shows, birthing the life of a showgirl. It stimulated my brain, she confesses, turning exhaustion into uncomplicated joy. Tracks like Opalite, dancing through lightning strikes, forging happiness from synthetic gems, grab your heart. Or Father Figure, a sly power play blurring mentor and ingenue. Easter eggs? Track titles mimic the tour stage. Duet alert. Sabrina Carpenter warns of showbiz's thorns on the title cut. What's her next twist? Dive in. Your diary awaits.